This video is brought to you by Practical Music Theory for the Rock Guitarist, my new book, which is a comprehensive guide to all aspects of music theory necessary for playing rock guitar. From blues to the cycle of fifths, from understanding and using modes to choosing the right notes for a melodic solo, from pentatonic scales to chord construction and keys. It's all covered in a clear and concise manner. With accompanying video demonstrations, jam tracks and tabs, you'll learn to use the knowledge you gain in accessible ways that make sense for less than the cost of a few guitar lessons. Check out the link in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. I've mentioned many times on the channel that if there's one album that did a huge amount to shape me as a player, it's got to be this one, Layla and Other Assorted Love SOngs by Derek and the Dominos. Double album, and it's just, apart from one track that I mentioned on last week's, I think was it last week's Top 5 Tuesday, not a bad track on it, and the one that you don't really kind of want to bother with is the last track, so it's easy enough to kind of not have to fast forward past that. Remember when you used to have to kind of take the cassette out of the Walkman and get the biro and kind of fast forward it like that? Yes, that's a generational thing, isn't it? Yeah, it's a fantastic album, some great fiery blues guitar playing there between Duane and Eric Clapton. And it's not just the 12-bar blues stuff as well, which is great on there. Key to the Highway, Have You Ever Loved a Woman? But, other great songs as well, like Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out. Fantastic version of that song on there. Bell Bottom Blues, loads of great stuff. But one of my all-time favourite tracks off the album is called Any Day. And I thought I'd give it a little bit of an outing today in this Monday solo analysis. So here's a little bit of what it sounds like, or my attempt anyway. Yeah, the track does go on, kind of quite, I think it's a fairly chunky, long track, and there's loads of sort of back and forth between Eric and Duane on that track. If you're not familiar with it, then I'll tell you what, I'll put a link to it down in the description. You can go and check it out for yourself. But that was my attempt at the solo. I think I got it pretty close. Anyway, let's take a little bit of a look at what's going on in the solo.
Solo explanation.
Okay, so beginning as always by taking a look at the chord sequence, the solo is played over. It goes like this. And over the top of that, we're going to be using predominantly the A minor pentatonic scale. One or two other notes thrown in as we go through it, but it is basically, to all intents and purposes, a pentatonic solo. You can make the case that when you add this note in, it becomes that particular scale or that mode or whatever, but it's probably just easiest, as I say, to think of it in terms of A minor pentatonic. And we start off with, let's have a look, this lick here, where we're just kind of hammering onto an A note sustained at the 7th fret on the 4th string. And then, now there's the first of the additional notes that are getting added in, that B note there on the 3rd string. So And then that sort of bend there. Just a semitone bend and release. Back onto the A note here. And then we're playing a lot of stuff which is basically coming out of the familiar box 1 pentatonic like this, with licks like this. Like that. Then we add in another note. I'll just play that again actually, so. There we go, just as you can see, as I said, coming straight out of that box 1 shape there. Next up we add in another note. Remember there's an F chord in the chord sequence. Well, we use that root note of that chord, the F, here to bend up to a G note there. So then we kind of, again, come out of that bend. Into that lick there. So just again coming down the pentatonic. Like that. And then do this kind of rather syncopated little lick here, which goes like that. So we're coming like that. And again, another non-pentatonic note coming in here. It's the same note as we had down here. It's a B note, but just an octave higher. So, and then what we got after that, just again restating that B note there, and we're hanging on to this A note here up at the 10th fret on the B string. Then we've got one of Clapton's sort of signature 3 semitone bends. He's returned to this kind of bend many times in many solos. In fact, yeah. And all of that there, you can see that is kind of coming out of the top end of that pentatonic pattern there, where you get the 3 semitone bend on this note here. Next up, we kind of scurry off up to position 4 of A minor pentatonic with the 12th fret for this little something like this. It's let me just have a look at the tab and I'll tell you. That's it there. So just kind of, and we've got this bend here. And we're into the sort of home straight now of the main body of the solo. We then just do some sort of descending kind of stuff here. And we have one more extra note to come into the solo. That F sharp note there. Why is there an F sharp in there? Well, remember we've got a D chord in the chord sequence which contains an F sharp. So when he's adding extra notes in, he's adding notes in that are in the underlying chord sequence. We've seen that B a few times, well as a B note in a G chord. And then we hit the final lick of this main part of the solo. Just straight minor pentatonic stuff coming out of the top end of this box number 4. And then we have the final 8 bars of the solo, which is just basically the most repetitive part of it, really, where we do this whole tone bend on the C note, the 13th fret on the B string. Then we do like the kind of blues curl, that way you're kind of bending the C note slightly towards a C sharp, but not quite getting there. See, it's not quite reaching that note, but it's kind of higher in pitch than this note, so you get that basically, and this is the point where we're getting the sort of call and response, question and answer thing with Duane Allman. I'm not going to, stick my neck on the block and say that the slide part is played in standard tuning, but it can be, and I'll do it without the slide so you can see where my fingers are. We've got basically this 10th fret double stop here. If you do that with a slide, that's pretty much what Duane plays. And he plays that a few times, and then if you think about this D chord shape here, well, you know, that double stop that is at the, which is actually a sixth, at the 14th fret, the A note and the F sharp note on the top E string, you'll get... So a few of these, and a few of these, like that, in response to the Eric Clapton part, which is doing that sort of... So you get that kind of interplay, that sort of back and forth. And there it is, an effective and I think rather accessible little solo. You know, again, how many times when I'm doing these solo analyses do I say, and you know, we can add in this extra note because it's in the underlying chords? Well, we're getting a fair bit of that coming in as well. And, you know, nothing wrong with a bit of repetition. As we can hear by that part there, it really does have this sense that it's building up the tension before we resolve the end of the solo into the next chorus where the D chord is. So anyway, that's what's going on. Now you know what to do. Go away and have some fun with it. And as always, you'll find a full tab for the solo in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it, that explanation you've just seen there, and a jam track to play along with yourself. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address, link in the description. As I'm sure you know by now, $3 or £3 a month gets you access to all of these additional goodies and resources and stuff that goes along with these YouTube videos. And of course, a massive, massive thank you to everybody who supports me in that, or any of the other ways, all of which are downstairs in the description. And that is pretty much it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video and found it informative and useful in some small way, hopefully entertaining as well. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. Don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time. Beer, chat, music, guitars, it's all there. It's a great way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.